Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to online class of physics. This is lecture number 38 from chapter number 6, equilibrium. And the topic which we are going to cover today is conditions of equilibrium. Before starting the conditions of equilibrium, I must tell you about the types of equilibrium. There are two types of equilibrium, that is static equilibrium and dynamic equilibrium. The body at rest is said to be in static equilibrium when all the forces acting on the body is zero and the body remains at rest position. Then this type of equilibrium is called the static equilibrium. And when the body is in motion, whether it's moving in a straight line or whether it's rotating with a uniform speed, so then the body is said to be in the state of dynamic equilibrium. Okay? Now, the example of static equilibrium is a body like a ball lying at rest position, a body at rest, a book at rest, and a bulb hanging from the ceiling, and likewise. Okay? Whereas the examples of dynamic equilibrium, that the body is in motion and all the forces acting on the body is such that still the body is moving with uniform velocity. So the example of such kind of dynamic equilibrium is the paratrooper, which is moving down, falling down, or it's moving up. Okay, and similarly we have so many other examples. So I want you to give the examples of static equilibrium and dynamic equilibrium in the form of diagrams. With the help of diagrammatic illustrations, I will further explain you these two types, that is static equilibrium and dynamic equilibrium. Yes, let me give you the example of a bulb attached to a ceiling with the help of a wire. आप देख सकते हैं एक बल्ब है जो कि वायर की मदद से, मतलब तार की मदद से छत पर अटैच्ड है. You must have observed an electric bulb hanging from the ceiling of a room. Have you ever thought why this bulb is not moving towards the ceiling or towards the floor? The reason is the weight of the bulb pulls it towards the floor, while the wire pulls it upwards towards the ceiling due to tension in the wire. If the weight of the bulb is equal to the tension in the wire, these two forces cancel each other's effect as they are acting in the opposite direction. You can see here the force is the weight is directed downwards, whereas the tension of in the wire is directed upward. So both of these forces cancel the effect of each other. Why? Because they are equal in magnitude and they are in opposite in direction. Since there is no resultant force acting so that the bulb remains in the equilibrium position. This is in the state of static equilibrium because the bulb is not moving at all, it is at rest position. So since the bulb is at rest position, so it is not moving at all, so the downward force, that is weight, and the tension, that is in the upward direction, both of these forces are balancing each other and the body is in the state of static equilibrium. Now you can see the example of paratrooper. It is moving up or down. Okay, it can move up, it can move down with the uniform velocity. Since the paratrooper is moving up in upward direction or in downward direction with uniform velocity, it means that the upward force is balanced with the downward force, and that's why when the upward force balances the downward force, the net forces acting on the paratrooper becomes zero. Why? Because the body or the paratrooper is moving with uniform velocity, with the uniform speed. So it means that the upward force cancels the effect of the downward force and the paratrooper is in motion with the equilibrium position. So this is an example of dynamic equilibrium. This is an example of tug of war contest in which two teams pull the rope towards each other. Team A pulls the rope in one direction and the team B pulls the rope in the opposite direction. If the total force of team A is greater than that of team B, then the rope will move in the direction of team A. And if the total force of team B is greater than that of team A, then the rope will move towards the direction of team B. And if the total forces of both the teams are equal, the rope will not move in any of the direction, and we will say that the body or the rope is in equilibrium. Here you can see figure number 1, in which team A is winning and team B is losing. You can see here the point, and team A is successful in dragging team B towards them, and the rope is moving in the direction of team A. So this is not the equilibrium condition. This is figure number 2, in which you can see that team B is successful. Why? Because they are exerting more force as compared to team A. Team A is losing. You can see they are losing, and the rope is moving in the direction of team B. So this is again not the equilibrium condition. Here again the leftward force is not equal to the rightward force. This is the third figure which you can see here. Here you can see the total forces of both of the teams are equal. That's why the rope is not moving at all. The rope is also in equilibrium condition. You can see the distance of both of the teams from this point is equal. Okay, so none of the team is winning, none of the team is losing, and the rope is in equilibrium, and both of the teams are in equilibrium condition. Since none of the team is successful in dragging each other, so we can say the rope is in equilibrium, because the leftward force is balancing the rightward force, and the rope is in equilibrium in this condition. Let's start the conditions of equilibrium. You can see two conditions, that is first condition and second condition on the whiteboard. The first condition of equilibrium covers all those bodies which are moving horizontally or vertically in a straight line, and the sum of all the forces acting on the body which is moving horizontally and vertically becomes zero, then first condition of equilibrium is satisfied. We can say that there are basically two parts of first condition. The first condition, for those bodies which are moving horizontally, at that time the leftward force and rightward force of that body becomes zero. And at that time the first part of the first condition of equilibrium is satisfied. And all those bodies which are moving vertically, and the forces acting on such body from either upward side or from the downward side, and if the upward force balancing the downward force, then the second part of the first condition of equilibrium is satisfied. Okay, now it means that there are two further parts of first condition of equilibrium. The bodies which are moving horizontally, at that time leftward force becomes equal to the rightward force for the body which is moving horizontally, and for the bodies which are moving vertically, then at that time the upward force becomes equal to the downward force, and in this way the sum of all the forces acting horizontally becomes zero, and the sum of all the forces acting vertically becomes zero. This is the sign of summation. It means that sum of all the forces acting on the body which is moving horizontally becomes zero, and this is again the symbol of summation. It means that the sum of all the forces acting on the body which is moving vertically becomes zero. Now the second condition of equilibrium is for those bodies which are showing the rotatory motion or which can produce the torque. हमने आपको बताया था torque is the rotational effect of the body. सही ना? तो अबाउट द एक्सिस ऑफ रोटेशन, एक फिक्स रोटेशन, एक एक्सिस ऑफ रोटेशन होता है, फिक्स पॉइंट के इर्द गिर्द जो बॉडी मूव कर रही होती है, तो जो रोटेशनल इफेक्ट प्रोड्यूस हो रहा होता है ड्यू टू एप्लीकेशन ऑफ फोर्स इज कॉल्ड द टॉर्क. सो the second condition of equilibrium says that when the clockwise torque becomes equal to the counterclockwise torque, then the second condition of equilibrium is satisfied. Kaise? You can see here the picture. You can see the figure here. See, this is the force acting on the upward side, and this is the second force acting on the downward side. The distance between the line of action of force 1 from the point of fulcrum, that is axis of rotation, is d1, and the distance between the second force and the axis of rotation is d2. And as all of you know, the formula for torque is F into D. So for torque 1, it becomes F1 into D1, and for torque 2, it becomes F2 into D2. Okay, so when these two forces are equal and their torques are equal, so at that time the second condition of equilibrium is satisfied. Okay, so that's all for the topic of conditions of equilibrium. I hope that you will learn the work on daily basis, and I am also giving the homework, the same homework that you have to learn. Question number 3 of chapter number 6, which is present on page number 3 of chapter number 6 notes. Okay, the PDF of chapter 6 you will get as soon as possible, and inshallah we'll meet in the next class with the new lecture. This is all about lecture number 38, conditions of equilibrium. We will meet in the next class with the new lecture. Till then, Allah Hafiz.